data that helps us understand that the thyroid hormone and what it does for you is so important. If you're tired, you're gaining weight, you're having all those symptoms, we know your thyroid is not working correctly for you. So we need to determine what we can do to replace and help bring those thyroid levels back to normal for you. Okay, next slide. So we know that that has a lot to do with estrogen dominance. So that goes hand in hand. So if our progesterone levels are dropping, our estrogen levels dominant, and our thyroid's not working, that's all a bad situation, a bad balance for the body. This is a pretty, busy slide to show you that thyroid hormone is not one number. There's a lot going into the production and regulation of thyroid hormone. So if your doctor draws one number and says it's okay and it's a normal range, that should mean nothing to you or to them. So that goes back to this whole range that I was talking about. It used to be 0.5 to 4.5, or 5, and as you got above 5, you would be considered hypothyroid. Then your doctor would finally treat you. Yay! Well, then it changed to 4.5, and then someone says, well, maybe it should really be 3, and then someone else says, well, maybe it should be 2. So what does that tell you? We don't know what we're doing. Okay, so the TSH is really just one general marker of what's going on. Next. So we really look at your thyroid function. We look to see if you have an autoimmune condition related to your thyroid gland, but most importantly, we listen to your symptoms. And if you have classic symptoms of low thyroid, and we know that's going to help you feel better, then we're going to clinically treat you with thyroid hormone. So we also look at different thyroid medications. A lot of doctors use Synthroid or Levoxyl to treat hypothyroidism, and that's great. Works well for a lot of people. But our thyroid hormone produces several T hormones, T3, T4, T1, T2. Synthroid and Levoxyl only gives you T4. So if you're not making the T3, you're not getting a lot of energy. You're not losing a lot of weight. You're still tired. You're still cold. So what does that tell you? That we're not completely treating the thyroid appropriately. So for some people, Armour Thyroid is a better replacement. It has both hormones, T3 and T4, and it helps them actually feel better and just not make their numbers better. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the adrenals. Well, when I was in medical school, I was taught about 2 conditions of the adrenal gland, both of which are very rare and something that we typically do not see. What we have learned a lot more about in the functional medicine world is adrenal fatigue. So how many of you are not under stress today? Oh, 1, yay! One person with no stress. Well, most of us live a pretty high stress life. And that is a reason why our adrenal glands are under constant attack. So every day, the little decisions that we make, or what are we going to wear today, where are we going to park today, I have to go to the symposium today, they give you a little bit of stress, and that's okay, that's a good stress. But then we have severe stress. We have a spouse that's sick, a parent that's sick, a child that's sick, something that's very stressful, or just really a very stressful life. And so our adrenals go into overdrive. And guess what happens? We gain weight, we don't feel good, and then when our adrenal glands get very tired and they can't keep producing that amount of hormone that you need, they fatigue. And then you get tired, you get exhausted, you can't move, you can't function, you can't get up in the morning, you can't go. Is that normal? Yeah. Can we do something about that? Yes, we can. So we look at using several different things to help the adrenal gland to get better. First and foremost, we look at your cortisol production. If your cortisol production is too high or too low, we have several things we try to do to balance that out. That is one of our bioidentical hormones that we can replace in the body. And we also try to get those levels replaced and help your adrenal gland to calm down and not work as hard. So adrenal fatigue, are you tired again for no reason? Can't get up in the morning? Do you have to have coffee all day long? Just feel run down? Some of the things we can do is address what you're doing with your diet and nutrition. That helps a lot with the adrenal gland. The cortisol helps. Vitamins help. So there are several things we can do to get the adrenals calmed down and working better for you. This is how your cortisol production regulates through the day. So when we tell you to eat several meals throughout the day, heavily protein-based, this is to help your body produce this cortisol in the correct manner. If we eat a lot of sugar, a lot of fat, and we don't really take the time to take care of ourselves, then our cortisol production goes all over the place. So this is a great quote I thought to end with. We're a country that spends 95% of our healthcare dollars on illness and 5% on prevention and staying well. How mixed up is that? The paradigm needs to change, and the change begins with how we choose to see ourselves as purveyors of health or conveyors of disease. Most of the people that come back to see us are well. They're like, why do I have to be here? because you're well. We want to keep you well. So we are not the philosophy that only go to see the doctor when you're sick. We want to see you when you're well, and we want to keep you well.